the live stream before, so I hope I can click on the right place to get me in. Mac McFeagle, I think you're in. And I'm starting this live stream with a sort of like, what's the word? A calming, cleansing ritual. Because I'm feeling, I don't know, a bit harassed. Here we go. And I've got this in a little egg cup here saying Robert. Hi, J. Carlos. And what I'm doing is I've got my gummy bear tarot here, which I got on eBay, and I'm just cleansing the tarot card by card so that we can use it in the live stream, because this tarot is a lovely, lovely size. It's very small. Hello, Faraway Star. Happy New Year, everyone. Here's some smoke for everyone for New Year. Just cleansing the deck. Because I got the deck on eBay, and, you know, you never know who had it before me and what they did with it. They could have been doing ghastly, satanic rituals in a wood, in a hood. Nearly done. Happy New Year, Happy New Year. Nac McFeagle says, yeah, it works. Good. Hello, L. Phillips. Happy New Year. Thomas Jordan, Happy New Year. I hope you all had a marvelous festive season. And I hope you're all in very good health. I could blow some sage smoke towards you. There. I'm blowing it with a gummy bear tarot. Gummy bear tarot card, which we will use if we want to. Feliz Año, Robert, Happy New Year, Chica del Sur. I'm happy to see the back of 2024. I am smoking, thank you. I hope you're smoking too. This is me with some sage, just for you. Blowing it down the internet in your direction. Redwing says, hi Robert, all the best 2025, thank you. Moonside says, Happy New Year. I got a message from a friend, and in Germany they say, I wish you what they call einen guten Rutsch, which means a good slide. They have they slide into the new year, like they're on like it's in the snow and you're on a sledge or something. You slide into the new year, so they call it the Rutsch. And this friend of mine had sent me this message saying, Ich wünsche dir einen guten Rutsch. I wish you a good slide into the new year. But he'd written, I wish you a good slide into 2015 instead of 2025. And suddenly it summoned up this sort of science fiction, slightly, time travel, science fiction, nightmarish thought that, if you get it wrong, you might slide not into 2025, but into 2015, and you'd be back, wouldn't you, in 2015, and you'd have to live it all over again, like Groundhog Day. So I didn't point out the error. I thought that would be a bit unkind because it was a kind thought, but it was a good text. It was a classic text. Thank you for doing this. Oh, that's really kind. That's really kind. I'm at the moment. My iconic hair. Toadstool Tarot. Okay, the first question of the evening. Is there a story behind my iconic hair? There is. Firstly, that I'm a performer, and I've also had a life as a pop performer, once in the 80s and once in the 2010s. I was in a band called the Mystery Girls in the 80s, and in the 2010s, I was a singer called Merlin Dietrich, like Marlene Dietrich, but Merlin Dietrich. And so I'm used to dressing up. And also my partner, my husband, is a performance artist, and he has a lot of really good stuff in his workshop. And so when I decided to start this channel, I decided I wanted it to have a slightly surrealistic sort of framing, I suppose, because I'm working on the assumption that tarot is a surrealistic ritual, and it is itself surrealistic. And if you add extra surrealistic elements, it kind of puts us into a slightly different mind space. And that different mind space is just enough to signal that we're doing something different with our minds. And so I decided that I would do something to celebrate my channel. I would do something for my look. I wasn't quite sure whether it was going to be a hat or makeup or funny hair or whatever. Anyway, my partner had a set of 6 of these, and they're homemade. I'm not going to take it off now because that would be quite the wrong thing, but there's one of my videos in which I show you this. It's the video which is like something like, I don't know, 5 tarot books, 3 tarot spreads, 2 tarot tips, and 1 tarot prop. And I show this. It's probably in my, it might be in my tarot review, deck review playlist, or my book review playlist, or both. So you actually get to see this when it's not on my head. And there were 6 of them, and my partner is from Cologne, and he is a regular attendee of the Cologne Festival, and they all dress up there, and they have themed events. And a long time ago, he went with 5 friends, and they went as 6 choir boys, and each choir boy had one of these, and they went to the Cologne Carnival as choir boys. And so these were in my partner's sort of stock of props, and I picked one up and I liked it, and I liked the Warhol reference. So an explosion of thoughts. Yeah, I used to hate Warhol, but because he was so mysterious, but I actually think that he found a good way of being in public. He was very, very shy. He found a good way of, he did what he needed to do in order to appear in public. So he wore these strange headpieces, and he had this very thick layer of foundation on his face. And so that was kind of like his mask. And then he felt that he could live his life and be a successful artist, even though he was probably quite introverted. And so there is also a Warhol reference. And I've even got some glasses that look very like Andy Warhol's, but I don't wear them for live streams. So that's, I don't often talk about it, but that's the explanation. What was I saying before we got onto that? Doesn't matter. Oh yeah, like the last time I did 2 live streams ago, I was doing this Sunday evening one, and I was tired, and I just had dinner, and I was digesting my dinner, and I got 2 tarot readings mixed up, for which I'm still very apologetic. And so I have a new structure to make sure that sort of thing doesn't happen on my show. Which is that in each live stream I offer 3 fuller readings. And in between I'll do single card readings. But I'll offer maximum 3 full readings. And one can be kind of like early on in the session, like around now. One can be around the half-hour point, and the third one can be, in the last 10 minutes or so. So if anyone, as usual, I will be taking making a list of like people who would like a reading, and I'll note it down, and everyone will be on the list. But it'll just be 3, so that'll be more what's the word? More manageable. It's actually, as I say to my friends, doing a live stream, a tarot live stream, is with readings, I mean, I could just do reviews and just chat about books, but if you do a live stream with readings, it's sort of an extreme sport because the whole of the internet is watching, or potentially, and you can't edit out the bad bits, and you're reading tarot in public with an audience. And I like it as an extreme sport. It kind of toughens you up, and I'm very happy to do it. But I need to kind of calm it down for myself slightly so that I don't feel stressed and sort of worried and overwhelmed when I'm doing it. So 3 per live stream. And Toast Your Tarot is there. Yes, that's my reading. I still feel guilt over it. Oh no. My guilt, not yours, but it created an interesting topic about whatever occurs during readings. That's very, very true. Beyond the cards is part of the reading. Okay, so be curious. Okay, so we've got 2, as far as I can see, 2 requests. Be curious. Would love a reading. We have Nick. Hi, Nicholas. May I have a reading, please? Yes. And then there's one more slot for number 3. So yeah, and I have made a video about mistakes and how you handle them as a tarot reader. And there's a writer called Marcus Katz who does sort of NLP books about tarot, and he's a funny writer, but he's also quite good at that. He says that there is Tamara, yes. There is what he calls an oracular moment. So in a sense, what happens is what's meant to happen. And the voices from the other dimensions, whoever they are, the intelligences, are coming through us. They're using us as kind of channels, if you will, even though I wouldn't call myself a channeler. So the whole situation is just a situation where we can somehow expand our thinking, and if something weird happens, then something weird has happened, and it was meant to happen. And if that was just meant to toughen me up, and get me used to appearing in public, maybe that's what the guides wanted to happen. And so I still apologize for getting those 2 mixed up. But anyway, for today, I've had 3 requests. Correct me if I'm wrong. We have Be Curious, Nicholas Miles, and Tamara. Oh, Toastal Tarot, you're being very kind. I think that particular reading's cards actually did apply to both me and that gal before me. We seem to share the same energy that day. Well, I think that is a good way of looking at it, yes. And, from outside tarot world, the skeptics will all be saying, oh, you tarot guys, you don't know what you're talking about. But I mean, this is in a sense what we're talking about, isn't it? It's a conception of the universe as meaningful. And you can go through your life and you can insist that the universe is not meaningful, or you can believe that it is, and I believe that it is on a very important level. So that's why I'm here, even though I'm a bit tired from Christmas, and again, that's why I'm only going to do 3 readings. Tarot is an art, not a science. That's super, super true. It's not a science. And that's why it's very difficult to write books about tarot. And that's why I am sometimes critical of people's books about tarot, because they treat it as a science. So be curious. I will read for you sort of straight away if you like. Nick, I'll read for you around 9:30, and Tamara, I will read for you around 9:45. Sorry. Those hours are wrong. So around now would be the first one. Around 1/2 the hour, whichever hour you're on, will be the second one. And around 45 minutes past the hour will be the third one, whichever hour you're on. Talented tadpole. Okay, thank you for that. May I please be considered for a reading? Talented tadpole, you waved. You're the first. Talented tadpole. Be curious is the second. Nicholas is the third. Tamara, I will give you a reduced reading. Is that okay? Because I said I'd give you something. But those three seem to be the three first on the list in the comments. And guys, thanks for supporting me. I'm not incredibly, clever at the moment. I'm just an old-fashioned tarot reader doing my best. Talented Tadpole, yes, you are visible in the chat. And again, you see, I'm doing this on a phone, and I have quite a small window, and it scrolls up, and as you scroll up, it disappears. And that is indeed what happened when I got those two readings mixed up the other day. Okay, right. So we're all set up. We've got our list, and the other. If anyone else wants, like one of my antidepressive cards, you're very welcome. That's very easy to do. So, Talented Tadpole, you're for now. Be Curious is for 1/2 Nicholas is for 45 minutes past. So Talented Tadpole, if you would like to give me a question, I'm here. I've got the Gummy Bear Tarot, and I've just cleansed it with a sage stick. So this is the first time I use it. I'm very excited. I love it. And it's a very, very good size. They're lovely cards, these. They've got an old-fashioned feeling, like they're really made of paper. Excited to see the gummy bears in action. I think so too. Talented Tadpole. Oh, here we go. Toadstool. Toadstool says, do you consume gummy bears? Well, the hemp ones sound nice. I don't eat sweeties myself because sugar gives me a headache, but I would consider hemp gummy bears. Talented Tadpole, can you give me a specific question or an area that you want me to read in? I think you are visible in the chat, at least you were a second ago. Talented Tadpole, step up with your question. Will boat number 3 please come in and pick up its pizza and beer. I'm tempted to do a reading for the live stream while we wait for Talented Tadpole to get through. Maybe Talented Tadpole is trying to get through my my settings, you know, because the settings specify that there has to be 15 seconds between each message. Or maybe there's been a, okay, this is for today's live stream. Me, you, the live stream. Okay, good, good, good. Me, I'm the Queen of Wands this evening. Nice and powerful, a bit pushy. Queen of Wands doesn't care, just wants to live her life and make a big success of it. That's a good energy. I'll go with that. You out there who've tuned in, all you people who've tuned in, we have the Four of Rods. That's a nice, peaceful, civilized energy coming from you. Thank you very much. And for the reading, we have the Hermit, so we can have some insights, we can have some inner truth coming out in the middle of all this cold weather and snow. Talented Tadpole, I think, has lost connection. Okay. Be curious. Can you specify your question for me, please? And I'll do a reading with the gummy bears for you. Okay. Jora, I'm only doing 3 full readings this time, but if you want, if anyone else needs a single card reading, they can have one of my antidepressive cards. So you've said what's coming for me in love. What's coming for Jora in love? Peace is coming for you in love. That's from my homemade set of antidepressive cards. Okay, now we're going to the next full reading. Gerard, I'm doing 3 full readings only this time, and I have a little awaiting list. Be Curious is up for a reading. I'm currently considering a career change, but having doubts. Is my doubt because it is not the right path, or is it because of personal fears and other obstacles? Okay, that's well, to answer that, let's draw back from it a bit and do a 7-card reading and just see what energies we pick up, and then go back to your wording. A career change, having doubt. Okay, so we could say, what's the energy of this career change? Yeah. Okay, be curious. This is a 7-card reading for Be Curious's career change decision. Okay, reversals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, let's reverse it. Okay, so things have been changing. Okay. I mean, in a sense, what I can do is I can sort of see what the advice seems to, see if I can see what the advice seems to be, you know. Okay, so here we have a 7-card reading with the gummy bears. I'll just show it to you. Past influences, we have 8 of batons, present, reversed 7 of cups, future, 8 of coins, advice, reversed 8 of swords, environment, 6 of cups, obstacle, fool, likely outcome, 4 of pentacles. Now let me just read that a bit for you. If I go for the jugular, it seems to me that if your advice card is the reversed 8 of swords, what we're seeing here is that we don't want to be restricted and tied down and immobile. So it does seem, if we go into the reading on that level, it seems to me that change is advised, right? And future conditions, you know, 8 of Pentacles, that's employment, isn't it? That's productive employment. That's a productive place to be. Now, environment, obstacles, and outcome. You know, I would say the environment. I think this reading is going towards the career change direction, and so I think environment around this career change is quite auspicious. You know, that the 6 of Cups is supportive, isn't it? It's past things that you've done or connections that you've made or training that you've done supporting you in a certain position. And it does seem to be moving towards a sort of financially stable outcome. You've got, in the present, you've got this rather strange card, reversed 7 of Cups. 7 of Cups, sort of, you know, what's the word? Confused by choice. And I think 7 of Cups is a feeling when you're not looking around at all you're not weighing things up enough. In other words, it's the feeling of there is something in one of the cups and you're not looking. And I think when you say, is it because of personal fears and other obstacles? I think it might be that personal fears are stopping you from really investigating, you know, the choices that you have. You're not doing a 7 of Cups thing. You're not looking in all these cups at the moment. Maybe not as thoroughly as you should, or maybe you're not giving those options a chance. So I think my intuitive feeling about all this stuff is your doubts are not because it's the right not because it's not the right path. I think your doubts are because of personal fears. Other obstacles, I mean, in the obstacle position, you've got Fool, which is Fool sort of on the edge of a cliff. It feels like in this particular context, it feels like a fear. It feels like a fear of leaping. So that's how I would interpret those 7 cards. We take a deep breath for be curious. And it seems that Talented Tadpole has lost their connection. That's sad. I hope that was helpful. Very welcome, very welcome. So it's actually time for the second reading, but I'm as my new practice, I'm always going to have a bit of chat in between readings. So there's no overlap. Nick's question has come in, but I am going to say something to clear my head, which is, aren't those gummy bears lovely? Okay, what does Nicholas say? Nicholas, I've recently been made redundant. Wow. What line of work would be best for me? I don't know what to do. Okay. Nicholas, there's 2 or 3 things which we could do. The first thing I'd like to do is to look for your work in the pack. I'm going to do the searching the pack method, which means that your work, this line of work, this idea that you're looking for is somewhere hidden in the pack. And let's say that, what line of work? It's a profession, isn't it? Is there a major arcana? Let's say magician, okay? So the magician is going to symbolize your line of work. I'm just going to shuffle the pack and then I'm going to look for it and see what's on either side and see if there's anything suggestive. If there isn't, we'll swiftly go on to the 12 astrological houses and see if we can see the magician in one of the 12 houses, okay? It's a question which normally I might like to spend half an hour on, and maybe we could one day. But let's just see, just see out of curiosity what we get from this. Okay. This is about Nick looking for a new line of work. And then let's just look. So I've now got the deck and I'm looking through it, okay? I'm looking for the magician. There he is. Am I going to have 3 or 5? 5. 5. Tara says 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So these are the things surrounding your line of work. Wow, I've never done this before, but let's be really intuitive about it. Let's enjoy it. There's your magician. And those are the cards around the magician. We've got Page of Swords, reversed Tower, reversed Knight of Pentacles, and a 5 of Battens. First thing that occurs to me is, okay, Page of Swords is about looking and observing. It's about seeing. It's about seeing, okay? Um, it's not a line of work which is provocative and stressful or political or even about sorting things out and healing things. It's maybe not, it's not dull. It's not about fixing things or making things work, or just turning up and operating systems that already exist. It's so it does require quite a lot of energy, and it requires quite a lot of looking and observing. Let's bear that in mind, and then I'll just see if we can find it in one of the 12 houses, okay? And then I would say, well, let's sleep on it. I would advise you to sleep on it and let that kind of like seep into your dreams. I will shuffle again, and I will deal into 12 packs, 12 piles, and whichever pile magician comes up in, that'll be your house. Next line of work. Okay, let's make some space. Space on the table for this. It's going to be the last one, isn't it? It's in the 12th house. Something's a bit spiritual about the 12th house. Nicholas, what I would say is, because we're in a live stream situation, just have a think about the 12th house. I don't know how much you know about astrology. We can all sort of pool our resources here. This is the indication of maybe something that you could think about. 12th house it's spiritual, but there's also there's sort of illusion in the 12th house, isn't it? So there's also there's filmmaking, there's showbiz, but we could look it up. We could look up the 12th house and see what professions are indicated in the 12th house. I could text you that later. More than that, I think we would have to sit down for a kind of a full consultation and narrow things down. Is that okay for now? Okay. I'm going to put away Nick's reading, and then we'll change the subject for a bit until 45 past the hour, and then we'll do the third one. If anyone would like an antidepressive card. That can be easily arranged. Each one has a little quality on it. Nicholas says, I'm very intrigued by the 12th house. 12th house, apparently Hollywood is the 12th house. I mean, I say that not facetiously, but because it was a thought that came into my head, and I think that it's often quite good to pass these thoughts on in case it triggers some kind of dream that you might have tonight. I believe that Hollywood is 12th house. 12th house is Neptunian, isn't it? And it is there's something slightly sort of illusory and dissolving about the 12th house. It is rather mysterious. I mean, it could be, it could also be a shop selling tarot cards or something like that. So it's also got divination and things in it. It's got spiritual things in it. It could be it could be to do with religion or spirituality or whatever you might be your equivalent. But yeah, that's kind of interesting that came out. Karma past life. That's great. I mean, if anyone else knows about the 12th house, without having to look it up. What one also can do in that situation is, if one is dealing the cards into 12 piles, you can then take that, you can carry on until you put all the cards down, and then you take the pile which has the significator in it, and then you might put that down as a horseshoe spread, and then you might be able to read from that. But I think in Nicholas's case, it's a very specific question, and it's almost like we need to suggest a way of just opening up the thinking process, and I think that's probably okay for now. Healer, also nice. Okay, I'm going to take a deep breath and close that one. And I'm just going to read, to change the subject, what Toadstool Tarot says. I was tempted to buy the Gummy Bear Tarot. There's a version that comes in a tin, and I love tinned tarots. But I was unnerved by the tits on the female archetypes. Gummy bears need no tits. It is slightly unnerving, isn't it? The female gummy bears. And there's one. I like it that you have the RWS colors with the gummy bears completely the wrong color. Well, at least the RWS similar colors, and then you've got the gummy bears with their green and orange faces. So it's quite refreshing, isn't it? They don't have any feet or legs, which is again vaguely disturbing. But some of them are very nice. I mean, that's a bit disturbing, isn't it? The star, that body shape, and the aces. They're held. The gummy bears don't really have proper hands. They have these little stumps. the whole thing is completely mad. But I got it for about €10 from eBay, and the book says some quite funny things. Yes. They're made of gelatin, indeed they are. I'm going to have a quick drink. I think it's important to have a light tarot or two in your collection because if you read a lot of tarot, you don't want life to be heavy all the time, do you? You don't want too many, when you have the Tower and the Ten of Swords, it's quite nice if you can lighten it up somehow so you're not too scared. By the way, I've got down on my list of things to do that I'm going to do another live stream in 2 weeks' time, and I'm going to do one of my Sunday morning specials, which is not particularly good for the UK. So I'll go probably online at 8 a.m. German time, which will be 7 a.m. in the UK. But the idea of that is that it's possible for people in Australia and further in the Eastern Hemisphere to tune in. Otherwise, they can never tune in. And it's just about possible for people in Los Angeles to stay up and watch, because then it's something like 11 o'clock at night or 12 in the west coast of America. So I think I'm going to do that as well. It was a success last time. Okay, we're coming up to 45 minutes past the hour. So our third reading of the day. It's Tamara after all, isn't it? Because Talented Tadpole lost connection apparently. Oh, 3 a.m. EST. That's a funny time, L. Phillips. Don't feel obliged. Okay, Tamara, do you have a question? Oh, wow, Pacific Northwest. That's not too bad. You see, I have this anti-troll device by which you have to wait 15 seconds between, if you write me 2 messages, it makes you wait 15 seconds between the 2 messages. In case someone comes on, some anti-tarot person comes on and wants to shower us with beastly comments. I will start shuffling for Tamara, and I'm looking forward to your question. This is for Tamara. Yeah, the Ator's great, isn't it? Tamara, I can't see your question on the comments yet. Are you still with us? Oops. I know Tamara's been waiting all this time. Am I still online? Must be. If I wasn't, my phone would be sending me emergency messages. Hi, I have a relationship situation with one partner walking out on A. Tomorrow, your message is incomplete, I think. Could you finish it? Okay. And one partner walking out and a new potential walking in. Can you give me advice on the two options? Okay, so you've got one. Okay. Okay. Let's take a small deck. You've got two relationships, in a sense, one partner walking out and one potential walking in. Okay, so I'm going to give you two triangular relationship spreads, and the walking out will be on the left and the walking in will be on the right. Okay, this is for tomorrow. Well, let's put my magnets on. And I will show you that. I'll show you the 6 cards that are on my table. Then I'm going to put it back down on the table and read, and I'll pick them up as I read from them. Okay, so in fact, I'm just going to do it one at a time so as not to confuse you. That's the first triad. That's the partner who's walking out. That's you, that's the partner, and that's the, in a sense, the status quo of the relationship. Now I have to look at this way, otherwise I can't read it. So you, you know, that's the sorrow card. I think that's fairly self-evident. And the partner walking out, that's not a particularly good, what's the word? It doesn't look particularly empathic, I would say. If that person is sitting there, crossing their arms, looking kind of satisfied, that's not really, I suppose, what one would like to see in someone who's walking out. And the overall effect is kind of, it feels like if this is a difficult energy, and that is the way that the cards are summoning up the situation between you, then if we're looking at a slightly difficult Queen of Pentacles energy, I see sometimes Queen of Pentacles as a slightly stifling sort of atmosphere. It can feel quite real, like a strong relationship, but sometimes there feels like there isn't quite enough freedom in it. And then if we look at the potential walking in, I'll show you how it might work, at least according to these cards. We've got your card, 10 of Batons, a card for this potential partner walking in, and a card for how it might work out as a relationship. And it does, okay, so it does look like a very real possibility strength card. I mean, that's a good, balanced, auspicious relationship card. And you know, and this partner coming in, good, somehow some sort of connection to what has gone before, whether that's karmic or whether that's a previous meeting or any history that you might have together, working positively. It does look like, one thing I'd say about that possibility is that if you are in a 10 of Batons frame of mind with regard to that, it sounds like it might be a bit difficult. It might just be stressful for you, because it just might be all too much, what with the other partner walking out. So it might be necessary for you to to deal with your stress and to deal with your stuff before you are in a good position to, in a sense, to receive the new offer. Tamara, that's all I will say. That's my oracular moment, so to speak, and I mean that quite seriously. For that reading, I keep them a little bit short and sweet when I'm reading live because you're not in the room and you can't, in a sense, you can't participate very easily. But that's what came through, and I hope that gives you something to go on. So I'm going to take a deep breath and let go of it. And then, Tamara, you're welcome. Oh, that's interesting, Toadstool. I never think to change up my style. I'm stuck in a 3-card rut. Oh, well. I mean, tarot's fun, isn't it? All different. I think it's... while I've been running this channel, I've been experimenting with spreads because I've been making videos about spreads and things. And I've done a lot of experiments and I don't use all that many spreads, but I always seem to have 2 or 3 that I'm currently interested in. And as I say, it is part of the fun of tarot, I think, to have different spreads. And it keeps it fresh. I mean, particularly this one, Searching Through the Deck, I think is a really, really, really good spread. And actually, I've made a video about it, which I'll put out next month. Okay, so we're coming to the end, last 5 minutes, and I am here with my morning cards. Knack Meg Fiegel, may I have a morning card? Okay, you're very welcome to have a morning card. Would you like to give me a number between 1 and 10? So anyone who wants a morning card, one of my antidepressive cards, just say me please and just immediately give me a number and then I'll pull your card for you. I take these cards every day or every other day. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Tough. Now that applies to you. It doesn't apply to life. Okay, so that's a quality that you can bring into your life or at least meditate on. Okay, Karen says 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A part of things, Karen. A part of things. That's nice. That feeling of being a part of things. Faraway star, me please, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Expanding horizons for faraway star. Saskia Handley, me please, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Solvent. That's nice. I mean, to some extent, these cards are just like, how good could life be? What are the blessings of life? And so each card is a kind of a blessing. It's not necessarily a prediction, but it's something to hold in your mind, like a sort of, like an energy to think about. I could be solvent. Wouldn't that be great? How would it feel to be solvent? And then maybe you can attract that. Now, that was Saskia. Next is Nick, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Humble. The glories of being humble. I mean that in a good sense, clearly. I use these myself. There are no bad ones. A 43, well, I can try. That's very That's not between 1 and 10 though, is it, Toadstool? But I think that's a quite a jolly request. So let's do 43, and then I think that might be the last thing we'll do this session. Okay? They're not numbered. I'm going to count to 43 for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's fine. 6, 7, 8, 9, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 40. 1, 2, 43. Serendipity. So that was worth counting for, wasn't it? So everyone, thanks very much. That's been a really nice session. It's funny. I find the new year a little bit difficult because it's so dark, and we're a bit far north in Berlin. It's pretty dark, and I get a bit low on energy, and this has energized me, and it's been fun. And thank you all for being so nice. And don't feel any obligation to tune in 2 weeks' time when I do my morning one. If that would involve getting up early, I'll be up. But if you're in England or America, it might be a bit horrendous. I'll do another live stream at this time, probably next month, and then there'll be videos and things. So bye, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. That was fun. Thanks, Nicholas. Thanks for being there. The church tower clock is chiming 8 o'clock in Berlin. Thank you, Robert. Goodbye, everyone. Great live stream as always, Robert. Thank you until next time. Thank you, Be Curious. Thank you, Faraway Star. Thank you, Moontide. It was very nice that you're all there. And thanks for everyone sending the little hearts that are popping up like little balloons on my screen. That was great. If I knew how to send hearts back, I would, but I think it might be a one-way thing. Bye for now. Oh, thank you, Karen. Thank you.